Rev up your engines!
The Ford GT Mark II is coming out again. They're making that practically full-bore race car. It's a track-only monster with 700 horsepower. But it does have a ticket of $1.2 million. Now, they're only going to make 45 of these things with a twin-turbo V6 engine. So if you got $1.2 million to, throw out on a toy, what the heck? Maybe it's your father's birthday and he always wanted one. And you're a multi-millionaire. Maybe you'll buy one of these GT Mark IIs for him. I can't say I'm going to be buying one anytime soon. Hey, if I was going to spend $1.2 million, I'd at least want a V8 engine in the thing. Juan Ruiz says, how do I find a good mechanic to check a used car out that's further away? Yeah, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place there. I'm in Houston, Texas. And I check out cars all the time for my customers and viewers if they live around here. But they got to bring it to me because I can't travel with all my equipment. There's too much equipment to really test out a car correctly. So if you're going to someplace, and if it's really far away, up the creek without a paddle, because how do you know if anybody there's a good mechanic, And you're not going to find a guy like me that's going to go with you because most mechanics charge $100-something an hour. And if you got to drive them back and forth and it can take 8 hours, you can owe him $100. So, that's the real problem. I mean, if you know anybody that lives in there that has a mechanic that checks it out, otherwise it's just pot luck with what you can find in that area. And you're not going to know, truthfully, that's a very hard thing to do. I've had customers buy cars on eBay. eBay gives a guarantee that that car is as promised. And if I've had customers buy cars from eBay's and they weren't, I check them out and said, hey, this is a ripoff. You paid too much. It's not an original equipment one. If it was a classic car, I'd say it's got a lot of aftermarket parts, and they got their money back from eBay because eBay's bonded for that stuff. But just buying a car otherwise, it's kind of pot luck on that one. Good luck, I'd say. Try to buy locally. Of course, I can say that I live in Houston, Texas. There's millions of people around, so there's lots of used cars to find. Kinnitz. Scotty, should I get an '02 Toyota Celica manual for first car? I'm 18. Well, they're great cars, but here's the thing. If it's the one that has that Yamaha designed ZZ engine, I wouldn't advise buying it because the engine may be going out or ready to go out or already has damage to it because those are the Yamaha designed engines. I would not buy one. Now, if it has the engine that has the one that Toyota makes that isn't the Yamaha design, go right ahead. They're great cars. But I wouldn't buy one with the Yamaha engine in it because every single customer of mine that owned one had to put second or a third engine in it because they had too many problems. Alan Martinez, what do you think of engine oil analysis to figure out what's up with the motor? Well, great if you don't mind taking a sample and send it to a reliable company. They give you all kinds of diagnosis, and you could do it like every other oil change to see if things are really getting worse or if they're staying the same. It's very good information. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that kind of stuff. As long as you use a reputable company, and there's plenty of them out there. If you look it up, you'll get all kinds of status on what kind of wear is in the engine. It's very good stuff. I've had customers do it and bring them to me, and then I'd look at cars and had me figure their problems out faster because I'd see, oh, well, look, it's running way too rich. It's got this, and I'd know what to look for. It's a good idea. Astro-Matic. Scotty, what causes a manual transmission not to want to shift? Could it be a bad slave cylinder? Okay, normally what makes it not shift right is a bad master cylinder or a slave cylinder that's leaking. You step on the master cylinder, just like the brake cylinder, you step on it, it pushes fluid. And then that fluid is pushed to the slave cylinder that then pushes a rod that pushes on the clutch. Check them both for leakage. Generally, aftermarket ones you can get cheap enough that I change them both in pairs myself. Now, you pray it's one of those, because if it's not those, then it's either your clutch is wearing out or your transmission internally is wearing out, and both of those are very expensive repairs. Pray it's those. You can get them cheap enough, and I got videos that show you how to change them. On most vehicles, it's very easy, except some of those that have the clutch slave cylinder inside the transmission, so you have to pull the whole transmission off instead of on the outside where there's just 2 bolts and you put a new one on with 2 bolts. So I hate those designs. Drive people nuts. A lot of mechanics love them because they make a ton of money fixing them, but I think it's stupid and I don't like it. Andrew Jones says, hey Scotty, is a Harley Davidson a good motorcycle? Depends on what you mean by the word good. People like them. They got a name. They make cool noises. They're dinosaur technology. V-twin engines. The Japanese bypassed that stuff ages ago and make faster, cheaper motorcycles. I mean, if you pay 20 grand for a loaded Harley, you can get a Japanese one for 10 that'll run circles around it. And now I guess Harley's having problems selling them because of that very nature. People are saying, hey, and I get customers that own Harley Davidson, some of them the engines blew up even lately. You want something to polish and look at, go right ahead, but if you're a serious rider, the Japanese blow them away. And I like English motorcycles. I always had, and people laugh about that, but I got a Triumph, and that thing was made in Thailand, and those Thais are good workers, and they make excellent motorcycles. It's a 900cc engine, and it just runs and runs and runs. It's not a race bike. It only goes 120 miles an hour, but it's a lot cheaper than a Harley. I paid 6 grand for my Triumph. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.